Hi there! Welcome to the 852 Creative Studio channel. This is your space to explore new ideas, sharpen your skills, and grow into the best version of yourself. So, if you're ready to discover, improve, and transform, let's begin. Trump, The Art of the Deal by Donald J. Trump and Tony Schwartz. Introduction. This book blends autobiography with business lessons, showcasing Trump's strategies in negotiation, risk management, and image building. Through real estate stories, he emphasizes persistence, adaptability, and bold vision, offering a practical guide to achieving success in complex deals. Chapter 1. From Routine to Opportunity. Trump's Flexible Beginnings. How spontaneity and adaptability shaped Trump's early business style. In the 1970s and 1980s, Trump's daily routine reflected his unconventional approach to business. He began his mornings early, scanning newspapers for market signals, political developments, and stories that might hint at opportunities. Rather than following a rigid schedule, he thrived on spontaneity, diving into a whirlwind of phone calls and impromptu meetings. His excitement came from making deals, not from administrative structure. Trump often made 50 to 100 calls a day, juggling conversations with bankers, contractors, lawyers, and journalists. This constant flow of communication kept him plugged into multiple projects simultaneously. He believed that momentum was essential. The more conversations he had, the more likely opportunities would surface. One striking example of his instinctive style was his intervention in the case of Annabelle Hill, a widow facing foreclosure after her husband's suicide. Trump swiftly confronted the bank, raised funds to cover her debts, and pledged to pay the remainder himself. The move not only solved her crisis, but also generated positive media attention, showcasing his ability to act decisively and turn adversity into opportunity. Trump's flexible negotiation style allowed him to keep multiple options open. In his investment with Holiday Inn Hotels, he structured deals so he could either take control, sell shares for profit, or let the company buy them back. This fluidity ensured he was never trapped in a single outcome. His early career shows a man deeply involved in the details, yet always ready to pivot. He thrived on momentum, believing that opportunities often appear unexpectedly and must be seized quickly. This chapter sets the tone for his career: a restless energy, a willingness to improvise, and a belief that boldness attracts opportunity. Key takeaway: success often comes from flexibility and decisiveness. By keeping options open and acting boldly, Trump positioned himself to capitalize on opportunities in real time. Chapter 2. Thinking Big, Protecting the Downside. Balancing bold vision with risk protection in real estate deals. In the 1970s, Trump was just starting out in Manhattan. He secured an option on the Penn Central rail yards, planning to build middle-income housing with government financing. But then New York City's financial crisis hit, and public funding collapsed. For most developers, that would have been the end of the project. For Trump, it was just the beginning. Rather than dwell on the setback, he reframed the opportunity. He pitched the site as the perfect location for a convention center. Years later, the city built its convention center right there, proof of Trump's persistence and ability to adapt when circumstances changed. This incident highlights one of Trump's core principles: protect the downside. Though often seen as a risk taker, Trump insists on preparing for worst-case scenarios in every deal. By minimizing potential losses, he creates the freedom to pursue ambitious projects without risking collapse. Equally important is his emphasis on flexibility. Trump never clings to a single plan. If one strategy fails, he's ready to pivot to another. The rail yards deal is a perfect example. Housing fell through, but the convention center succeeded. Flexibility for him is resilience, a way to keep options open and avoid being boxed in. Another distinctive element of his approach is street-level market insight. Instead of relying solely on consultants, Trump talks to taxi drivers, residents, and everyday people. These conversations give him practical intelligence, grounding his instincts in real-world perspectives. Ultimately, Trump's philosophy blends bold vision with protective caution. He thinks big, but always builds a safety net. The Penn Central story shows how setbacks can become breakthroughs when ambition is paired with preparation, flexibility, and practical insight. Key takeaway: protecting against downside risk, staying flexible, and listening to real-world voices are essential to navigating complex deals. Chapter 3, Turning Decay into Gold, the Commodore Hotel Revival, transforming a failing property into a flagship success. In the late 1970s, the Commodore was seen as a lost cause. Sitting next to Grand Central Station, the hotel was run down, and the neighborhood was in decline. Most investors walked away. But Trump saw something different. He noticed the steady stream of commuters passing through the area every day and believed the right vision could turn the Commodore into a thriving success. To minimize risk, Trump secured an option on the property rather than buying it outright. This gave him time to build the deal without committing too much of his own money. His plan was bold: strip away the old, gloomy structure and replace it with a sleek glass facade. Partnering with architect Der Scutt and Hyatt Hotels, Trump began shaping a project that could redefine the area. Financing was the next hurdle. With New York City in economic crisis, banks were reluctant to lend. Even Hyatt's involvement wasn't enough. Trump's breakthrough came when he negotiated a 40-year tax abatement with the city, arguing the project would create jobs and revitalize a failing district. That deal unlocked financing and made the project possible. Critics questioned the fairness of the tax terms, but Trump stood firm, insisting they were essential. In 1980, the Commodore reopened as the Grand Hyatt. The reflective glass design, once controversial, soon won praise, and the hotel became an immediate success. This project revealed Trump's emerging style: spotting opportunity where others saw failure, negotiating aggressively for favorable terms, and taking calculated risks. The Commodore wasn't just a hotel renovation. It was a turning point that cemented Trump's reputation as a bold, strategic dealmaker. Key takeaway: strategic risk-taking, creative financing, and unwavering persistence can turn seemingly hopeless ventures into major successes. Chapter 4, Persistence Pays, Building Trump Tower. How determination in relationships created an iconic landmark. In the early 1970s, Donald Trump was still a young developer, but he had his eye on one of New York City's most coveted corners: the Bonwit Teller Building at 57th Street and 5th Avenue. While many dismissed the site, Trump envisioned something iconic. His first proposal to Franklin Jarman, head of Genesco, was rejected outright. Yet Trump's persistence never wavered. For years, he stayed in contact, waiting for the right moment. When Genesco's financial troubles forced them to sell assets, Trump seized the opportunity. Securing the property was only the beginning. Trump moved strategically to assemble the pieces needed for his ambitious project. He partnered with Equitable Life Assurance, which owned the land beneath Bonwit Teller, giving him control of the site. Then he turned to Tiffany & Company, whose air rights were essential for a taller, grander building. Convincing Tiffany's owner, Walter Hoving, was a milestone. The deal was sealed on a handshake, underscoring the importance of trust and personal relationships in Trump's approach. The next challenge was zoning and financing. Trump worked closely with city planners to secure variances that maximized the building's size and visibility. Despite skepticism from officials and controversy over demolishing Art Deco sculptures from the old Bonwit building, he pressed forward. His ability to generate excitement around the project attracted top-tier retailers and buyers, laying the foundation for success. In 1983, Trump Tower opened to immediate acclaim. Its sleek glass design and luxury appeal made it a global landmark, cementing Trump's reputation as a bold, determined developer. The story of Trump Tower highlights the power of persistence, adaptability, and relationship building. By staying focused, seizing opportunities, and negotiating strategically, Trump transformed prime real estate into one of New York's most iconic addresses. Key takeaway: persistence, adaptability, and relationship building are critical in transforming ambitious visions into reality. Chapter 5, Rolling the Dice, Atlantic City Casino Ventures. Timing, negotiation, and control in the gaming industry. In 1975, a strike in Las Vegas caught Donald Trump's attention. Hilton Hotels owned more than 150 properties, yet just 2 casinos in Las Vegas generated nearly 40% of their profits. For Trump, this was a revelation. The casino industry held enormous potential. At the same time, Atlantic City was debating the legalization of gambling. When the referendum passed in 1976, property values soared. But unlike speculators rushing in, Trump waited patiently, choosing timing over impulse. By 1980, a prime boardwalk site near the convention center became available. The property was tangled in disputes and fragmented ownership, but Trump saw opportunity where others saw headaches. He negotiated long leases, bought out holdouts, and consolidated control of the entire site before moving forward. Licensing was the next hurdle. Atlantic City's process was notoriously difficult, with companies like Caesars and Playboy facing delays and setbacks. Trump studied their mistakes and decided to secure his license before breaking ground. This cautious strategy paid off. He received approval in just 6 months, avoiding costly risks. Then came an unexpected partnership. Michael Rose, chairman of Holiday Inn, approached Trump with a proposal. Holiday Inn brought gaming expertise, while Trump offered a reputation for delivering projects on time and under budget. They struck a 50-50 deal. Holiday Inn would manage the casino, and profits would be shared equally. Construction began with Trump's trademark discipline. Through careful planning and value engineering, he kept costs under control. In May 1984, the casino opened on schedule and slightly under budget. Crowds poured in, and the project was an immediate success. Yet disagreements soon surfaced. Trump clashed with Holiday Inn over management decisions. By 1986, he bought out their share, taking full control of the casino and reaping financial benefits, including depreciation deductions. He later refinanced through a public bond issue, strengthening his position further. Key takeaway: patience, strategic partnerships, and maintaining control are vital in high-stakes industries like gaming. Chapter 6, Private Efficiency versus Public Failure, the Wollman Rink story, how hands-on leadership outperformed bureaucracy. In the mid-1980s, Donald Trump was struck by a New York Times article detailing the city's failed attempts to renovate Wollman Rink. After 6 years and millions wasted, the project remained unfinished. Comparing the fiasco to his own timely completion of Trump Tower, Trump decided to step in. He wrote to Mayor Ed Koch, offering to rebuild the rink at no cost to the city. At first, Koch dismissed the idea, citing legal hurdles and insisting the city didn't need Trump's money. But growing media pressure forced a reversal, and Trump was granted control of the project. His approach was straightforward: finish the job quickly, efficiently, and correctly. He hired Simcoe, a Canadian firm specializing in ice rinks, and replaced the city's flawed Freon system with a reliable brine-based design. Trump's leadership was hands-on. He visited the site daily, held contractors accountable, and ensured deadlines were met. The contrast with the city's earlier mismanagement was stark. Pipes had been laid on uneven bases, concrete was faulty, and delays were constant. Under Trump's oversight, these issues were resolved swiftly. The project came in under its $3 million budget and was completed in just 4 months, far ahead of the city's 2-year projection. The rink reopened in November 1986 with a grand celebration featuring world-class skaters. In its first season, it generated $1.2 million in revenue, all donated to charity and the Parks Department. For Trump, Wollman Rink became proof that private enterprise, strong leadership, and accountability could outperform bureaucracy and deliver real results. Key takeaway: effective leadership, accountability, and hands-on management can achieve results where bureaucracy fails. Conclusion: final reflections on Trump's philosophy of deal-making. Trump's The Art of the Deal underscores the importance of persistence, adaptability, and hands-on leadership. His career illustrates how obstacles can be reframed as opportunities, how protecting against downside risk ensures survival, and how strong relationships and negotiation skills drive success. Whether in real estate, casinos, or public projects, Trump's philosophy emphasizes thinking big, acting decisively, and maintaining control. Ultimately, Trump's story is about mindset. He demonstrates that with persistence, adaptability, and bold vision, leaders can transform setbacks into stepping stones. His approach blends ambition with pragmatism. Here we come to the end of the book summary. I hope you have enjoyed it. Last but not least, don't forget to comment, like, and share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Ciao!